Like, how are kids trained to be materialistic? Where do they even get their perception of money in the first place? Well, there's something called the consumer socialization theory from a guy named Ward in 1974. And his key idea is that children learn consumer behaviors and values from their parents, their peers, and media. So materialism begins in early childhood through repeated exposure to consumer environments, especially when parents emphasize brands, money, or gifts as rewards or indicators of success. So when they hear their mama say, he must be doing good, look at his car, that makes the kids say, okay, if I get a nice car, that means I'm doing good, even if I'm doing bad. And so one of the things that they said in their research is that, quote, children acquire consumption related skills, knowledge, and attitudes by observing and interacting with social agents. That means that whoever influences you, like a social media influencer, or like your favorite rapper, or like your older brother, or your parents, that's going to shape how you view materialism. Right. So, when I grew up, I used to ask my mother all the time. I would ask her for name brand clothes and or even name brand cereal. We didn't even get that. We wouldn't get the Frosted Flakes. We would get the Crunchy Flakes next to the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm talking about. And I remember her saying that stuff does not define you as a person. Those labels are stupid. They don't mean anything. So that I internalized that. So that saved me probably $1 million throughout the course of my life because I never really sought out name brand anything. I don't care about that type of stuff because my mother put that in me when I was a child. Number two, there's a guy named Piaget, and he has something called cognitive development theory. It says here that as children move through pre-operational stage from age 2 to age 7 to the concrete operational stage, age 7 to 11, they begin to understand ownership and social comparison. So from age 7 to 11, the concrete stage, they start to know what it means to own something. That's why you teach ownership to your child when they're young, and ownership is linked to everything related to Black power, everything related to personal agency, everything related to freedom. Ownership is a type of freedom. You can teach them about that when they're young, and so ultimately, and then also there's social comparison. Unfortunately, a lot of kids learn in that stage of life that if I have more than what you've got, I can compare myself to you in a favorable way. That creates the phenomenon of keeping up with the Joneses. Anybody ever seen that where somebody sees what somebody else has got and they feel like they got to go buy it? Anybody ever see that? Anybody ever see people trying to keep up with the Joneses? That is an economic death trap.